welcome to another episode of the Neoliberal Podcast. And I'm Renaldo McKenzie. And we are coming to you live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Today or yesterday marked the 100th day of the Trump presidency. And we here at the Neoliberal have something to say about it. First, I want to talk about a trip that I had at Save a Lot yesterday. I went in the morning, I wanted to have some turkey bacon. I love turkey bacon. I went to have turkey bacon, and so I went to Save a Lot to purchase turkey bacon. Now, when I went to Save a Lot, there were two types of turkey bacon. Well, sorry, I noticed two brands. I noticed a brand. I picked up the first one. One that said Ed's Hips Turkey. And then there's another one that was, I think it's Dietz. What was it called, Donte? Watson, right? It's Watson. Our co-producer, co-host is here. But it was Watson. And so anyways, I decided I was going to go with, I saw Watson, I saw Ed's. But then something told me to look at where it was made, because since everybody's talking about a big deal about Buy America, and these tariffs, the tariffs was to probably try to dissuade Americans from buying non-American goods or foreign goods. So I saw the Watson brand, and I was going to buy it, but then I realized Watson turkey bacon is made in, you know where that's made? You know where the turkey bacon is made, Donte? It's made in Canada. I'm like, wow. No, first of all, no, I'm not going to support Canadian turkey bacon.
All turkey bacon?
Turkey bacon? No. There was the Edge one. That's why I said, and then I looked at Edge. See, I'm in Save a Lot, but choosing between two brands, Edge or Watson. Watson is Canadian. Edge is I looked at the back as it made in America. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go with the American brand. Wow, I'm like, but then I said, wait, hold up. I looked at the price for the American. It said $8.99. That was Edge. But Watson, it said $5.99. So of course I decided on the Watson. But first of all, I said, wait, hold up. In the store, I was thinking about it. I wanted to go with America because first of all, I feel the same about TikTok. TikTok is not American. It's a Chinese brand. I'm not going to support Chinese social media companies. So I have a TikTok, but I'm not active on TikTok because I support Twitter, Facebook, and American stuff. I'm on YouTube, whatever. I refuse to promote But anyways, here we have the Canadian turkey bacon. I decided to purchase the Canadian turkey bacon. And I thought about it. Donald Trump has tariffs on Canada, yeah, and imports. Yet, although he had these tariffs on Canadian goods, I was still able to I still decided to go with the Canadian good. And I'm like, I asked myself the question, why is the Canadian turkey bacon much cheaper? Although we have all these tariffs, why is it that it's $2 or $3 cheaper than the American turkey bacon? In spite of the tariffs. It's quite interesting.
Everything is going up.
They want us to purchase American goods, but American goods have to be able to compete with the price of foreign goods. It means then charging tariffs. That's the justification for the tariffs. However, if you charge tariffs, then it means that, as I said, one, there's economies of scale. Two, fine. Are all Americans going to be able to purchase American goods with the price, with them being forced now to buy American goods, is which is twice the price of sometimes of the foreign good, because goods made in America attract high wage, and so the production costs are high. The production costs for some of the very same goods are much cheaper overseas because of, especially because of labor. And so that is why now we are back on the issue of immigration, because Americans are not going to get $12 an hour, $6 an hour, $5 an hour, let alone $1 an hour or $1 a day, $2.50 a day. That's what these people are getting. They can sell you, okay, and maybe in Canada they have a lot of immigrants in Canada that work at these production places that can afford to now export to the US and sell at certain goods, because in Canada, you look there, the production is much lower, and also they benefit from high subsidies. It means that the US government would, so there are two ways of looking at it. The US could subsidize goods, their local manufacturers, so that they can drop the prices, so that they can compete with foreign goods. Of course, if they don't want to do that, then of course they can of course and they can of course they can use tariffs to drive up the goods of the competing country like Canada or China per se. But the problem with that is it means it's going to affect many Americans who purchase these goods, because in terms of affordability, many Americans travel, many Americans use their money on leisure. It now means that, and so they would rather use $5.99 on turkey bacon than $7, $8, or $9.99, and use the savings on leisure. That has always defined American life. But now that might change, and we're talking about economies of scale. Say, for example, Save-A-Lot, Aldi, Walmart, Family Dollar. So many of them have Chinese goods or goods that attract serve goods from these countries that can afford to sell their goods for $1, for $2, for $5, because of the production is low. But if we want Americans to buy these goods, it means then that American manufacturers will have to now start producing more of these goods. It means then that we have to think about wages. Are Americans going to be able to afford to purchase these goods? So that's the next thing. So it means it's going to drive up costs for many Americans, and many Americans, so that's part of the problem. So that's what you have to think. So first 100th days in office has created created fears, consumer fear. These are the fears I'm talking about. And so one have to think about that. The second thing that I want to talk about is the missteps and the lies. Donald Trump has said that his administration is having conversation with China. China has denied that. China is saying that we haven't had any conversation with Donald Trump as it pertains to any trade deals. I suspect that there are reports now, though, saying that that might be changing. But as at yesterday, there was nothing coming out of China. Yet we're hearing that China was saying something. I have a problem with that. That we're talking about misrepresenting reality. We're talking about the issue of truth, and I don't think the administration is being truthful when it comes down to what's going on with China, what China is saying on trade. We understand that as it relates to the tariffs, a lot of countries are flocking to the US. Then we realize that nobody was coming to the US. Then yesterday or the day before yesterday, we hear that they might be getting a deal with India. Oh wow, that's something to celebrate, having a deal with India. So, however, there are positives. One, one of the positives is that Donald Trump is has helped has his administration has already helped to minimize or to control the issue or the overflow at the border. We're not sure. We're not sure what is going on at the border, but that's what we are learning today. As it relates to social welfare, that's still on the table. We're learning of federal workers are still demanding to redress, demanding that the government stop their cuts. Those are still working to save millions of dollars. They say that they are saving billions of dollars. It's yet to be seen if they're saving billions or millions. But they have put a lot of government workers, officials on their heels. So today, work in America, I guess, has become a little bit more efficient, driven by threats of Doge. So that is a check mark. But it's 100 days. I mean, he has put a lot in motion, but not much has been accomplished. What we know is just a lot of disarray. He has consolidated power in the presidency, much to the chagrin of others. And the judiciary is at odds with some of his policies, and sometimes he seemed to be going at them. I'm not sure if this is how one want to govern, but let's see what the next 100 days left, or what the next 100 days would look like. The Neoliberal Podcast. What good?